Alright, we've sent a print job to our SAVIN copier. As you can probably hear in the background, it's beeping, which it's expected to do. And the reason for that is we only print to the bypass tray on the right side of the machine. If the bypass tray is closed, the beeping will still go on. But we're ready to print our labels. And so I've got a demonstration page here with label number 30 in the bottom right, label number 1 in the top left. To begin, we've already sent our print job to the printer, and that's why the red button is lit up. And so I'm going to come over here to the right side, and I will put my labels in just like so, and it pulls it through, and out we come. Now, the example I used was a spine label, and there it is. It's right there on the right side. Now, it's important to note that when all the teachers send their print jobs, the print jobs they send come from the drawers. When we send our print jobs, we make sure that they go to the bypass tray. Unless people use the bypass tray, we're safe. Alright, here's our second video. This time we're going to use the same label sheet. You hear the machine beeping because it's ready for the paper to be inserted into the bypass. I stick it in, and it pulls it right away. This time we're doing barcodes. And here's my example barcode labels. Remember, it's face up. The top left corner is label number 1. Alright, we're on screen here and we're going to look at some reading program labels. And this is on a Dell computer. And so once we've generated our labels, here they are, we're going to go to print. And it's important to make sure that you pick the correct printer. And the settings for this in the Dell are no auto-rotating and no centering, no page scaling whatsoever. The important step with this particular form of labels is you have to turn the page orientation. As you see over here in the preview area, it is trying to print it as portrait. We need it landscape. So in order to do this step, you're going to have to get into the print settings, which are under properties, and under orientation here, under the setup area, you're going to have to go in and select landscape for this, and then that will do the trick. So if I say OK at this screen, now the preview area right over here you'll see is now in landscape. The other thing that you need to make sure of on the Dell is when you get into your print setup, I'm clicking properties again, you have to either save the settings as a preset, or you have to remember each and every time you're going to go in and under the paper tab you're going to change the input tray from auto to bypass. You're also going to have to change the paper type to labels so that the machine knows the bypass tray is where it's expecting it, and it's also expecting label stock, not regular 8.5 by 11 paper. At this screen I can save those settings. I believe the default on most machines is a SAVIN file RCF. You can change that name to whatever you want, and since that file is already saved, I can go back each and every time I would print after this. I can go in and I can load and open that up, or I can manually go in and just remind myself I have to pick the bypass tray, pick the label settings before I send my print job to the printer. And at this point I've printed, and you can hear in the background the beep 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 from our SAVIN machine. Alright, we're going to print AR labels this time. I've already sent the print job to the SAVIN. It's already done its beep 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 beep, and so you can see the red lights on there. Now, one important thing with this label stock, there's 28 labels per, and at the top you also have the arrows. And so when we go to set this in the bypass tray, label number 1 is going in the top left corner, just like this. Alright? Now, if I'm staring at the machine this way, it's going to be that direction. So I stick it in and it will feed right through. And there we go. Arrows to the top, labels print out just like that.